Hello, how are you? Uh, my name is Imran Mwanja, student of Development Studies, University of Dar es Salaam. Uh, Today and currently, I want to share with you in a little bit concerning Development Studies program. Uh, since I have started to start this program, uh, many students, many majority, uh, ask me a lot of questions concerning development studies. They are not aware about this. Uh, it's my responsibilities and my fellow students to promote our program in various sectors, in to a lot of majority, to understand what the development studies and what do you do with this bachelor degree of development studies. Uh, in a few minutes, I want to share with you an introduction of development studies. What do you do with a bachelor degree of development studies, discipline of development studies, universities that teaching development studies, and what the aim of development studies that have emerged in various universities. Firstly, development studies is a branch of social sciences that has get popular in 1990s. Development studies has taught and researched in a lot of universities, and it has emerged to answer some question of in our societies. For example, in our countries, we are suffering from poverty, majority are suffering from diseases, majority are suffering from ignorance. So the development studies emerged to answer this question. And always program that established in any college, universities is to answer some problems. Yeah, that is a short story about development studies. Development studies also has its history in Western countries like America, UK, and it has researched in third world, in countries with colonial history. For example, UK is one of the countries that development studies has originated. So, also in America, on history of America, Mr. Truman said that. Let me quote what Mr. Truman said in 1949. He said that more than half of the people of the world are living in condition approaching misery. Their food is inadequate. They are victims of diseases. The economic life is primitive and stagnant. Their poverty is handicap and threat both them and the more prosperous areas. This quotation of Mr. Truman also facilitated and pursued a lot of African and third world countries to promote this program in order to be free from poverty, ignorance, unemployment, and all the problems that facing third world countries. Also, it has emerged to answer question why Europe and Western countries are very rich than the third world countries. So development studies come with solution. In other history, by addition, by 1960s, there was a lot of economics that emerged in Africa and over all the world. They come with the branch of economics that's called the development economics. This conflict of economics made the rise of development studies. That is a short story about development studies and introduction. Secondly is professionals of development studies. Many continents have developed the professionals and organization of development studies. In general, development studies program leading the economic, social, political, and culture of any country. That's why they established some organization like in Arabs. In Asia, they established the Asian Studies Association, APISA in abbreviation. In Europe, they established organization bodies that we call the European Association in Development Research and Training Institutes, EADI. In Africa, they have established two organizations. First is Council for Development Social Science Research in Africa, CODESTRA, and the Organization for Social Science Research in Eastern and Southern Africa, OSSREA. These professionals evidenced that development studies is rampant all over the world. It is not a new program in University of Dar es Salaam and in Tanzania. I'll tell you the universities that teaching this program. Another question is, what do you do with Bachelor of Development Studies? If you study development studies, you can work in international organizations like UN and its agents like UNDP, UNHCR, UNICEF. You can be a human rights activist. You can be a consultant of private sector firms. You can be reporters. You can be a researchers. You can be a teacher. So this shows that development studies has a wide perception, has a wider, it gives you a lot of chances, and if you want to employ yourself, you can be, because I want to tell you on the issue of what the fields and what the disciplines of development studies. And you will know what do you do with this. I have mentioned some few of them. Disciplines or fields that development studies concern is like we study about environment and development, we study about gender, we study about economics, political economics, we study about agriculture, industrial, peace and conflict. We study about a lot of things that we study about, that are core causes of development studies. So development studies is not a new program. Another issue about development studies I want to share with you about universities that are teaching development studies within our country, Tanzania, and outside the country. I want to start with universities that are found abroad. For example, University of Cambridge, University of Oxford, University of SOAS, Universities of Makerere, Uganda, University of Nairobi. All of that universities have the development studies program. Within Tanzania, a lot of universities also and colleges are teaching development studies. For example, University of Dar es Salaam, that is the center of development studies. All universities I want to say, shares with the universities of Dar es Salaam, and they have Institute of Development Studies, we call it IDS, that's found in Kiswahili building. Another colleges and universities are St. John's, Kampala universities in Gongo la Mboto, and so on. Also, development studies has its core causes, as I have mentioned, but I want to make you to be aware about development studies. Development studies is not a general study as you think, as a lot of majority say that development studies is general study. No, development studies as a general study is core causes like development perspective 1 and perspective 2 that every student must read, but we have our core causes that do not interact with development perspective 1 and 2. For example, I have mentioned